Monica, we met a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
I'm obsessed with Hovnanian Homes. You guys have just a phenomenal product. What got you into new construction?
Oh, I think buying new construction myself, being on the other side of it, was just something that really intrigued me.
Yeah.
So I just started the process and I knew I wanted to do it. I wanted to get out of what I was doing back then. And I just kept at it and we're here now.
Here we are. Here we are. What industry were you in before?
I was in pharmaceutical sales.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were a collegiate athlete, high performance killer, hunter. That's awesome. Medical sales.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Oh, it was really fast paced. But really I was just in front of doctors a lot.
Yeah.
Not really I wouldn't say like actual human beings, but I didn't get to build a relationship with families and, people and stuff like that. It's a whole different vibe and scene.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're working with people where it's more like, they're buying their first home or maybe even their second home, just graduating in life. And so it's probably a little bit more fulfilling helping people, get their life started, the next chapter started.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long have you been in sales overall?
Oh, sales in general, throughout different industries, about 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of experience.
Yes.
What do you think some people struggle with the most in sales?
Consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you see people like porpoising a lot where they get a lot of sales, they drop off with their lead management, then a lot of sales drop off? Is that what you mean by the consistency?
I think more as more persistence, I guess you can say. Just not giving up, because there's highs and lows in sales, but you just gotta ride the wave. When things are good and then when things are bad, it's just you gotta just go with the flow, really.
Absolutely. We actually talked about that last week with persistency. A lot of people think that agents or car salesmen, anything sales related, that they're being pushy, but a lot of times it's not that they're being pushy, it's that they're trying to communicate a sense of urgency. Like with you guys, like you're pretty close to closing out this community and you only have a handful of the 60-foot product left?
And 70s.
Yeah, and the 70-foot product left.
Yeah.
So when someone comes in and you're like, hey, we need to go under contract or we need to make a decision ASAP, it's probably not that you're like chasing a paycheck. It's probably more so like you're trying to communicate to them like, hey, if you want this, you got to get it because there's not much left and there's 10 other people waiting for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've actually had that happen because more times than not, we have partners and we have other people that can sell as well.
Right.
And so they have clients that are interested. And so when we reach out and we're like, hey, I have someone else interested or my partner has someone else interested, I'd say 90% of the times it's like, or actually 100% of the times for me, but it's because we know that that's your home and we would hate for you to miss out on it.
Right.
And I've had that happen recently and then a lot of other times where they're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So they just missed out on their dream home.
Right.
And they thought I was kidding and I wasn't.
Yeah.
And it's not because of that. It's because the salespeople, we build rapport with them and we know what they like. We know that they're really interested. And when it gets to that point, we try our best to let them know, create urgency and just get it locked in. It's not because, hey, I want a sale. I want to get this locked in right now and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. It's really because there is someone else interested.
Definitely.
And just like doing content with you guys, getting exposure and stuff. There could be someone that walks in the door today and it's like, I want that house. Let's go under contract.
Right.
Anything can happen at any moment.
Right.
And that's the crazy thing with real estate is really anything can happen.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I got some crazy stories. I might do
Yeah.
some other segments for that because I don't know. People watch HGTV and they're like, "Oh, it's this," and it's so much different. I mean,
Yeah.
I've had to go to the hospital before
Oh.
because of real estate. No, we were
Oh my
helping a
gosh.
client clear out a property, and I had a propane heater like hit me in the leg and had to get stapled up. But like, they don't think like sometimes people need help with stuff. So
Yeah.
like, I keep a broom in my truck all the time. Like I've had to like sweep floors before showings. Like
Yeah.
there's just so much beyond just a good headshot.
Yeah.
In real
There's
estate.
so much that goes on behind the scenes
There is.
that not a lot of people see or know
Yep.
about. But we do whatever we can for our clients.
Absolutely. I'm glad that you brought up the about losing out in the dream home. I actually had that happen to me recently. Not to a client, to me. We looked at this home and it was just perfect. I mean, it had a nice pool in the backyard. They had like a table in the pool where you could like literally eat lunch on, like the beautiful floors and all that. And we were actually writing our offer on it, and someone beat us to it that same night, and they went under contract like the same day, and it was just like an unheard of thing. And so that agent, the listing agent, could have done a better job, I feel, of letting me know like the urgency of it. I mean, even though it was the same day, so they were probably already negotiating and everything, but that was not a good feeling at all. So
It sucks.
so I feel like that can help me, like as an agent, share the importance of speed, and something like that. And especially if we go back to like COVID time frame, where if you want to get that offer in, you need to get that offer in.
Right.
Thankfully, we're not in a competitive market like that anymore, but
It would be nice. But
yeah. If salespeople are being pushy or urgent, there's a reason for it.
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you feel is the biggest challenge that other new construction sales reps deal with?
I think that sales consultants, we deal a lot with competition, especially direct competition. Like doing CMAs and stuff like that. Like we're all trying to give out the best deal, but, we're competing with each other at the end of the day,
Yeah.
like trying to, show people what we have to offer, our quality and, floor plans and everything. And it's just really, that's the number one battle. It's just competing with other builders.
Definitely.
So.
I think the day that I actually met you, we had went to your other model home, and y'all were looking at, I don't want to say the builder by name, but they had just like slashed their prices by like $25,000
Yeah.
overnight. And, which, I mean, it shows the hyper competitiveness of the industry in general, but the fact that you guys were like bet on it. I mean, it was like 12 hours later and y'all were like, these mother lovers.
Yeah.
But yeah, just staying competitive is, I would imagine, probably even harder, especially when you get an opening community, because yeah, there's like general interest in it because it's new, but also, I mean, you got 4 or 5 other builders and they're all trying to build 200 units. I mean, you got 1,000 units right there. So it's like, how do you stay competitive with a mass influx like that?
Exactly.
Yeah. What's your average build time right now for the community?
Right now, it's anywhere from 4 to 6 months. 6 months, well, really it's 4 to 5, but sometimes it takes up to 6 months because of permitting, and Lake City is not the easiest. So
Yeah. I actually, it's something I've been wanting to cover on the channel. When people are looking at building a home, they're thinking, oh, it's only $150,000 for the land, and then we can build the house for $250,000. But what so many people are not realizing is that you have to factor in about 25% of the total cost for permitting. So if you think it's going to be a $400,000 build before you run into any problems, which what the build process can be like with supply chain and everything, you're really looking at a $500,000 house. And if you get like a diseased tree or a rare tree that needs like a permit to cut the roots out, and then you got to plant a new one, like there's just so many permits that people don't even consider when they're looking to, obviously not through you guys, but when someone's just talking about buying a piece of dirt and slapping a house on it.
Oh yeah.
It's not that simple.
It is not.
And people really don't budget for what these authorities are putting into place for as far as permitting, which is actually deterring a lot of builders from, some areas. I know we dealt with that in Pasadena with some commercial property. We've just been having problems with these ordinances that they have in place. What are some of the common objections you're getting from buyers right now?
Right now, it's really incentives. they're just waiting for interest rates to drop even more, and what the government's going to do and all this stuff. And it's just the uncertainty. They're just kind of scared of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. It's, what are you guys offering right now through your in-house lender for interest rates?
So we have a bunch of different options. So we have our Flex Cash.
Yeah.
Which could buy down the rate to, a 4.99 or something like that, depending on if they want to use the whole thing towards that, or they want to break it up and get like a 5.5 and use some towards closing costs. It's just, we have different options. And we try our best to work with the buyer on what their needs are.
Yeah.
So
I like that you said that to put the Flex Cash towards the interest rate to buy it down, because something that I've noticed that some of these new home builders are doing is they're advertising like a 2 or 3% interest rate. Well, one, nobody can qualify for it. So it's really like kind of deceptive in a sense. And then also they'll advertise like a specialty interest rate, and then they'll also advertise a Flex Cash, but they're not telling people how they're coming up with that interest rate. So some people think they're going to come in and get a 3.99 plus 30,000.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, man. Like, if I could find that deal personally, I'd buy that deal.
Me too. And then, sometimes some builders actually add the cost of that interest rate onto the price of the home.
Oh, sure. Yeah, so it's all built in and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, geez. That's rough. Are you seeing, like, buyers when they come in here, are they trying to negotiate, like, ridiculous things as far as the pricing goes, or as far as you guys to do upgrades or anything like that? What are you seeing people trying to negotiate it on right now the heaviest?
Really, it's just, I've been seeing interest rates. Well, I've been seeing both.
Yeah.
Right. So with our price point in our 70-foot section, some people will pay cash. So then they're just like, okay, well, I need the price.
Yeah.
So then they'll negotiate and they'll say that, well, I'm paying cash, so I want, X amount off.
Yeah.
But some other people are like, well, I want an interest rate and I want you to match the other builder. So that's just a little hard and difficult for us, because sometimes we aren't able to do it.
Yeah.
As much as we want to sell you a home, we want you to be in our home, we just can't offer that.
Right.
Because sometimes it's too much.
Well, especially when you take so many different builders. I mean, they have such a different business model, so the price structure is going to be a little bit different. I mean, even just the tier of house. I mean, if you're looking at like a 1,900 square foot house versus a 3,000 square foot house, I mean, naturally, you're not going to be able to do but so much with that, because you're not really comparing apples to apples.
Right.
Yeah. So what is a misconception that you feel people have when they walk into a new construction home?
I think going back to your question, it's really different because new construction, everything's new,
Right.
We just built it and all this stuff. And, with resale homes, things are older, some things needs to be fixed and stuff. So they have a little more flexibility sometimes.
Definitely.
To, sometimes the seller is trying to get into a new construction home.
Right.
And they just need to sell the home. So they just want to like offload it, know? So with us, sometimes there could be some flexibility, but then most of the times it's just like, we actually have to spend our money to build the home, pay the trades, do all this, and it's just, at the end of the day, it's business as well.
Yeah.
So.
No, I think that's another thing that agents don't think about when they get into the business is they don't run it like a business. They don't realize they're a small business owner, so they don't keep like a P&L. They don't keep, track of their expenses compared to like how much it took them to get a client versus how much it, they're going to not make, but what
and also the time
worth.
You put into it with
exactly.
the gas and everything, driving around.
Absolutely. I mean, if you
adds
think I
up.
don't factor that into ours, like what our timely cost is, because we'll take like my gross revenue for the year and divide it by like my average hours worked, and like I know what my hourly rate is, so you have to factor that in. Otherwise, like your time's not free, so it's like don't spend all that time.
Yeah, like I mean, I had a lot of friends that became agents after COVID or during COVID.
Yeah.
Because they saw like the selling sunset and they saw the glitz and glamour. Oh my God, there's a $30,000 commission on this, whatever. But it's not like that, because there's so much that you're not factoring in, like some agents have brokers they have to split with. Some people
Yes.
have, the Supras they had to pay a fee with,
Yep.
and then the MLS listings and stuff, or whatever fees is associated with that,
Yep.
and it's just, it's a lot,
Yeah,
and it adds
it
up.
is. Yeah, no, we have a base for our operating expenses. I mean, we have a brokerage, we have MLS dues, we have even our editing software. I
Yeah.
mean, we have to factor that all in.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's all a tax write-off, but guess what? You still got to spend the money.
Right.
So, what makes a relationship with an agent easiest for you? How would you like us to walk into the model home?
With a buyer, ready,
Yes,
pre-qualified.
exactly. Briefcase full of cash. We'll
Right.
close on Friday. Let's go. No, but just as far as interactions, I mean, do you want them to be like more hands-on, like, let you do your job, get out of the way kind of thing? What are you looking for?
I think it really depends on the salesperson, but
Yeah.
for me, I always include the agent just so that everyone's in line. Like, I send out emails and include the agent, the construction manager, the buyers, everything. And I think just communication is key
Definitely.
with that. So, I mean, some agents don't like being hands-on, some people do.
Right.
But it's just really, at the end of the day, it's communication that will help get us to the closing table.
Yeah. If you could tell agents anything, like, directly, like, what would you say? I mean, you can look at the camera right now and be like, answer your phone.
Yes.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves. That's all I always say.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That, and also just that we're a team, like we're not against each other.
Definitely.
We have the same goal, providing great customer service to your client, getting them in this house, and making it as smooth as possible, and that's really it. Teamwork does make the dream work.
It really does. I mean, us getting out here and doing content with builder reps, I mean, so many agents will look at her as their competition. I'm like, no, like, she's your ally. We have a common ground here, and it's to sell dirt. Like, let's get the job done. That's how I look at it.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, so many people are hyper competitive, and like, I get it. Like, there's agents that'll do some not so great things, try to shark clients and whatnot. But I'm like, your only competition when you wake up in the morning is you, period.
Right.
It's you against yourself.
And there's so much to go around. Like,
Definitely.
it's really not worth it
No.
to be like that. But
Yeah, I agree. So what's one piece of advice you'd give if you had a new build rep coming in tomorrow that you were in charge of training? What's one piece of advice you would give them?
go through the highs and lows. It's not as easy as you think. There's a lot that goes into it, just like with what agents deal with, we
Yeah.
deal with as well. There's different personalities for
Definitely.
sure.
Definitely.
So you're just gonna have to learn how to deal with that.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get some people that aren't so nice, and you can't let your emotions get to you.
Is it more like clients or coworkers or the construction people? Or?
Really everywhere.
Yeah.
You're surrounded by different personalities, and sometimes you're going to clash with people. I mean, I hate to say it, but some people aren't going to like you,
Right.
in this world.
It's true.
And it's true, like, and being surrounded by them, like, it's just, you have to be professional at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And you can't show as much as you want to, like, yell at them, scream at them, whatever. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You have to be professional at all times, and just remember that you're here to help people get into homes.
Definitely.
And even if the client is the one being mean, just do what you can.
Absolutely.
To not.
I had that happen
go
on my
crazy.
first real estate deal. Was a commercial deal, and the guy was like 86 years old, and he had been in that property I think since like the late 60s, and he's like yelling at me every other day, and I'm like, everything's on pace. I was like, the inspection was fine. I mean, it's a 70-year-old building, but it's as well as it could be. It appraised fine. I'm like, what's going on here? And then you have to take a step back, because it is easy to want to get confrontational with these people. But what I realized was, he's had this business for his whole life, basically. I mean, he lived on the property, had an apartment set up back there, and it was like, this is the end of a legacy for him. You know, it's like we're closing out a major
Yeah.
chapter in his life. I mean, his kids worked in the business on the property. I mean, this is a big deal, and those emotions can come off negatively towards us. So it's like you don't want to be the punching bag, but you kind of got to be the punching bag at that point and just be really empathetic with people
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think some people don't realize, like, it's really stressful, you
Yeah.
know, and if you don't handle things a certain way, it just could get to you.
Right.
And that's one piece of advice that I will probably give people that are new to the industry is that you just have to handle things the best you can, you know, and it's just, yeah,
Yep.
that's it.
Yep. I like it.
Because it is really stressful.
It is. It is. It is. Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you, Monica.
Yeah.
I really appreciate everything.
I
you did for
appreciate
us
you
here,
guys for
and,
coming out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll let you know when everything gets up, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.
Thank you.